here we are. Oh, somebody's there. That house, you see the White House right in the middle.
Who would buy a house like that?
Triple murder. He took a hammer to his mother's brains with a claw hammer, and then he shot his brother in the ear, and then he beat up the other brother and stabbed him multiple times. 3 murders right there. Mass murder. Yeah. Right in this house right here, it's a triple murder. Took a hammer, claw hanger, and gutted out his mother's brain, his brother's.
Really?
And his other brother, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and she was making dinner for him. That is it.
Yeah, that's it. Look, here's the address. 4605. Right here. It says on the mailbox. Right on it. They took it off the door.
Triple murder.
That is the one. Yeah.
One of my employees has not shown up to work for 3 days.
In the early stages, no, there was no suspects. We didn't know who might have done this. We didn't have a clue.
I would not harm my family, sir, for nothing in this world.
This car's here. Doors are all locked. The windows, shades are all drawn.
There was a lot of stuff in the house, almost like hoarding.
All their throats were slashed. They were bludgeoned with a claw hammer, and the mother's fingertip was cut off. And only Richard was shot in the head.
They say the arrest of Hartung comes as a relief, but not a surprise. News 5's Debbie Williams has the story you'll only see here on News 5.
Cliff and Wanda Hammock haven't spoken to anyone about the crime that took the lives of their Aunt Bonnie and cousins John and R.T. Smith.
When you talk about her, do you know that you smile?
Because she makes me happy.
Now with the arrest of Wayne Hartung, they're ready to talk.
My Aunt Bonnie was the most loving person. Those 2 boys, she raised them to where that if I could have raised my kids half the way that she did hers.
She was definitely a bright spot for me, and it's a void that no one in the family will ever be able to fill.
3 months ago, their world changed while watching the evening news.
Wayne didn't even call none of the family. We all saw it on the TV.
Words like ritualistic killings and witchcraft colored the investigation. They believe the motive is money, but don't know if Hartung knew he'd been cut out of the will. The arrest was welcome news, but not surprising. Even at the funeral, they say Hartung never showed any remorse or shed a tear.
It was devastating to us as a family, and he just acted like it was no big deal.
He said, "Son, they're all dead." I was like, it's kind of weird. What are you talking about? He's like, "They're all dead. Your grandmother, RT, and John. They're all dead." That's how I found out.
Okay. And did he say anything about himself?
I believe that during that phone call is the first time I was told that he did not have anything to do with it.
Okay.
That witness testified that Hartung walked him through how each murder was committed, saying he cut all 3 family members' throats. Prosecutors say Hartung killed them so he would be the sole heir of his mother's estate.
A construction dumpster and storage units lined the drive and front yard of the Deerfield Drive home where Bonnie Smith and 2 of her sons were murdered this past summer. The sheriff called it a ritualistic killing, even saying there were elements of witchcraft involved. 2 months later, very little information has been released to the public about the status of the investigation, only that investigators are waiting for forensic test results.
Do you own any guns?
Well, I have. I've owned quite a few guns, but I don't have any right now.
You know.
Yes.
When was the last time you owned a gun?
Maybe about 2 years ago.
What was it?
We were robbed.
I don't think so.
It just looks like somebody came in and shot him.
Yeah, looks like somebody knew him, whoever did it. something didn't happen when you were up there Tuesday night and you killed him?
No. Nothing happened.
You sure?
Yeah.
If something happened, now's the time to tell me.
I would not kill my mother and my brother. I mean, why would I do something like that?
I don't know. I don't know.
Well, I understand that. I know that's true. But I wouldn't do something like that. I'd never harm my family.
Let me ask you this, do you have a key to the house?
I sure don't. Well, I don't know. They just never give me one.
You didn't have anything to do with that?
No, sir. I would never harm anybody in my family. I love my mother and I love my brothers. I love my dad just like he was my own father. I mean, my real father. He was my own father.
So who's the worst of the worst?
Fairly easy in many instances, not so much in others. If someone brutalizes and tortures, he or she is the worst of the worst. If they go in, someone goes in and fires a weapon and somebody dies, not the worst of the worst. The victim doesn't know the difference. But it just depends on the facts and circumstances, and you have to carefully
How about the
look at
number of victims? In this case, we're talking about triple homicide.
Or this, we had an inmate that actually rode around with the dismembered body of an individual in his car. I mean, decapitated, limbs removed, all of that, riding around in his vehicle and was pulled over by the police. That's about as bad as it gets.
Worst of the worst.
Now, you are going to go back into that jury room after Ms. Jensen gets a second chance to talk to you and tell you maybe why I'm wrong or why she's right. We're lawyers, we're up here arguing our position or trying to present facts to you. But when you're back there in that jury room, if you believe my client is probably guilty, maybe guilty, possibly guilty, that means you come back with a verdict of not guilty. You are not here as investigators to determine who committed the crime. You're not vigilantes to avenge the murders of these people, but you're here to rationally evaluate the evidence, talk about the evidence, talk about the lack of evidence, talk about a conflict in the evidence to come up with your decision. Now, you're going to have jury instructions read to you by the judge, and part of one of the jury instructions is called reasonable doubt, burden of proof. If after carefully considering, comparing, and weighing all of the evidence, there is not an abiding conviction of guilt, or if having a conviction, it is one which is not stable, but one which wavers and vacillates, then the charge is not proved beyond every reasonable doubt, and you must find the defendant not guilty because the doubt is reasonable.
Guilty. Guilty as charged. Three juicy life sentences. That's what he got. And he should be there. But just because one juror held out, he didn't get the electric chair. But he should have. What a bum. Took a claw hammer to his mother's head. Stabbed her so many times that as she was defending herself, cut off her little finger. What was she doing? Well, he would go there every afternoon at 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock and go get a meal. She had put the meal into the oven to keep warm for him. Everybody said about this woman, her way, her personality was sweetie. Oh, cutie. Oh, you sweetheart, you. Apparently a very kind woman. Her husband had died 3 years before. She decided to leave in her will all of the money to her 2 other sons because this guy, the murderer, had all the money going. He had money already and felt that he doesn't even need money. The other 2 did. He took a claw hammer to her head, gutting her brains out basically, stabbing her and then slicing her throat and cutting her finger completely off. Her other brother that was sitting down there walked right in, put the gun up to his head and pulled the trigger right in his ear, killing him instantly. The other, he just beat up and then sliced his throat so he bled out on the floor. Covered them all up with a bunch of clothes to keep them warm. I think he was into Ouija stuff and stuff like this, from what I understand, because they call it the Blue Moon Killer. But they've disproved that. But he did study that stuff, so I don't know why they would disprove it. The older brother worked for Homestead, and he was an IT specialist. The younger brother worked for Walmart. But yeah, that's what he did. And that's the video that you just saw. Today is a double feature. Double feature. I want to talk about this girl here. There she lies, Anna Maria, murdered just down the road. Here's a video of exactly where she was murdered, laying on the grass. Apparently, the story goes, she was in his house with his wife, estranged wife. He came home at about midnight, walked in the house, saw his wife was there with her, and for some reason, don't know what the reason is, because he committed suicide after shooting her. He went in, started shooting. There was a big disturbance, and then she ran out the door, and he ran out too and put some bullets right inside her, went back into the house and committed, if you know what the word is, unbelievable, by way of a gun. Unbelievable. Just unbelievable. It's a very sad situation. Nice girl. She lived there for 2 years. And again, this is the actual house. There it is. Yep. I thought it was a blue house. But, oh, right there on the grass. That's where the murder happened. Right here. On the grass right there.
Yeah, it's right here.
Yep. That's the house. Right there on the grass. She was killed right there. She was found right on the lawn. Right there. On the right side. Running away as he committed suicide. As he killed himself. Shooting bullets all over the place. This is the actual place where it happened. It's just down the road. Can't be about half a mile from here. She's here now, and this is one world-class graveyard. So they must have had some kind of money. But what was going on, I don't know if her and the wife were together somehow. I don't know what the issue was, but he came home, all of a sudden started shooting around, and then she ran outside and he shot her. She was found laying on the grass, and then went inside, and the wife, the estranged wife, was perfectly fine, and called the police after he committed. Amazing. Anna Marie, do you remember being shot? How did you die? Why did your husband kill you? I see you also were a guitarist. What kind of guitar did you play? Was it an SG? You wish me to tell your family that you're okay? How did you die? Why did he shoot you? I can hear spirits, so please speak. Were you having an affair with his wife? Were you having an affair with his wife? His wife. His wife. With his wife. Were you having an affair with his wife? Were you killed instantly, or did you suffer on the grass? Please speak if you can hear me. You seem like a nice girl. Do you forgive your husband for this? Do you realize that he committed right after he shot you? Remember, we come in absolute respect. We respect the dead. We walk around the graveyard as if it was a park. If a spirit speaks, then they speak. But I don't try to conjure anybody up or anything. What did you die of, sir? Kyle. Did you play a Gibson? Did you die of an illness? Was it a sickness or an accident? Rest in peace, Anna Maria. Now the Blue Angels, fighting aircraft. The Blue Angels are having a show today. So you're going to hear some propeller airplanes, because those are from 1920 or something like that. So you'll be hearing them fly around. One thing to remember is that when I'm at a grave and you hear the person say, "Help me, help me, help me," my husband was a killer. Kathy didn't do it. My husband's a murderer. It might not be the grave that I'm looking right at, unless they say their name from that gravestone. It could be from a cemetery 3 states away in a different country. They can go any place, anywhere. And if they think they can talk to somebody, and I can hear them, well, then they'll probably try to jump in. Mr. Sweet, guitarist as well. You're a good man, an Ibanez, I take it? Did you play Ibanez guitars? What kind of guitar did you play? What happened to you? How did you die? The wind is picking up big time. It's going to be a big storm here. Let me show you. There you go. Thank God, too. It brings the temperature down. Right now, let's go to this place. $1.5 million. Right here. Any spirit can speak. If you can hear my voice. This grave is valued at $1.5 million. Can you hear me? Say your name, Levin. Any spirit can speak. What is your name? A very nice man. Very kind. He helped us out quite a bit. I would never have found it in this graveyard. It's just gigantic. Well, here we are. It's about to rain something fierce. Yeah. Can you hear my voice? What did you die of? I can hear spirits. Do you wish me to tell your family that you are okay? How did you die? Was it an illness? Did you like baseball? Can you hear my voice? I can hear your spirits. You wish me to tell your parents that you're okay? Say the name on your tombstone. Any spirit who wishes to speak may speak now. Stephanie, what happened? Wow, you died very young. Was it an illness? Or was it an accident? Say your name, Stephanie. Can you hear my voice? Did you see Jesus? Are you from Greece? Stephanie Elizabeth Pappas, how did you die? Very beautiful girl. Very pretty. Gladys, of one of the viewers that watch this channel, Kimmy. Can you see your grandson? And what is it about your grandson? Not hear, not speak? Which is it? I know what it is. What is it? 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 Okay, we're leaving now. Like I say, if I'm speaking to a grave, if they don't say their name, is it that specific person talking? Because they jump in, see? They jump in. But, there's more of a 90% success rate that it is them. Well, I hope this video finds you well. I hope you all enjoy my videos, and press the share button. Would you do that? Would you do that? Press the share button just under the video. Would you do that? Thank you very much. And I'll see you next time here at Crypt Adventures. You like this cemetery?
Yeah, it's got a lot of stories.
You want to go home? It's going to rain.
Yeah, it's going to storm actually. And the Blue Angels are playing, they're doing maneuvers right here by the beach.
Yeah?
Where there's thousands of people right now, but this thunderstorm in half an hour.
Are you going to do your cooking?
Yes.
With a pita?
Oh, yes.
Hello, Peter.
I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper.
Anxiety, filling up every space, no privacy. And silently, it could build and build until you finally see, whoa, it's taking over, damn no closure, moving closer. No exposure, I just wanna be a loner. Some can't stay sober, looking over all their shoulders, like moving boulders just to get out of the home. It sucks, I've had enough, I don't wanna feel the stuck under the rug, all my problems that I shove.
I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper.